All right, what's up, nerds? Welcome back to the Barflies podcast, episode, I want to say 85. I'm not sure. I haven't done a podcast in 3 weeks. Joined today for the school holiday special, Anthony D. Lorenzo and Jacob Ketafono.
Ketafono?
Did I say your name right?
Yeah, Ketafono, but that's all right.
Ketafono.
Yeah, kids get it wrong as well, so don't feel too bad.
Thanks, dude. Good to have you guys.
You're welcome.
A late call up for Jacob this morning. D'Lo rolled over for a lazy afternoon pod, and he
As
said,
you
"You know who we should get on? Jacob Ketafono." And I said, "Let's get him on."
Yeah, well, great to be here. You interrupted a very mean kitchen cleaning session, so a lot happier being here, filming this great podcast and scrubbing dirt off the microwave.
Have you listened to the pod before? You can be honest.
That's a no.
Unfortunately not. But I think, now that's how you get new people listening. You just get them on. And
You just get him on.
yeah, it's a good entry, hey.
Well, Kody actually told me that I mentioned her name on the podcast once, and then she listened, and now she listens every week. So I think maybe I just need to just start talking
Name
about-
dropping.
Yeah, name
Yeah,
dropping on the
yeah.
pod every week.
Thanks for listening, Katie.
Yeah, shout out to
Welcome
Kody.
back.
Welcome back. A lot of our friends over in Europe at the moment,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a bit of a weird time for us because people are kind of like, what would you call it? It's almost like staggering the way that people are leaving.
Yeah. Everyone's kind of going in waves, including myself in a month.
Yeah, with my roommates
Yeah.
and not me.
I'm taking most of the people. No.
Yeah, you're going to be over there with most of the people that we know.
Yeah. That's the general idea. But yeah, now everyone's kind of going in waves. Right now we've got the beginning of the peak, and I guess it's kind of nice in a way.
Nice in what sense?
We have a lot of people we hang out with,
Mm.
I think, and it's been a little bit less busy. Bit of R&R time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Like, do you just mean in the sense that there's like a little bit less going on the weekends?
Yeah, I reckon it's
Definitely.
like everything's running at about 50-70% capacity.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when it's like 100%, it's like bang,
Yeah.
bang, bang.
Yeah. Our house is running at 75%,
Yeah.
which is nice.
And when you take Tully away from Ed,
yeah.
when you take Tully away from Ed, it takes a lot of his sort of, not his ideas away, but his execution.
The way he executes his ideas are different. Like we had a roast the other day
Yeah.
instead of like him yelling at the TV for an afternoon. It's like that's the difference. We had a really nice roast dinner with
Yeah.
some bottles of wine.
Yeah,
Far
no.
less FIFA being played as well. And that's not just in the house, I think FIFA getting people around is a big activity. And with less people here, more people in Europe, the neighbours are probably a lot happier as well. Hey?
Yeah.
This is like
Yeah.
us repairing our relationship with our
Yeah.
neighbors
Yeah.
without realizing it. We've just been slowly like, plastering up the cracks.
Now's probably a good time to sort of give some context here. Anthony and Jacob, roommates of the infamous Flora Street house, 2 minutes away from the George Street house. You kind of forget sometimes that there are people on this that listen to this thing that have no idea who you two are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Also,
That big?
probably have no idea that much about the whole house situation.
Well, no, they would. I feel like we talk about it a fair bit.
Yeah.
But you guys have had a bit of like how the turntables.
How the turntables.
Yeah.
How the tables have turned.
Yeah. As in, we used to have mad neighbor problems.
Oh,
with-
yeah. Now
with
we've
Miguel.
got the mad
And now
neighbour
you
problems.
guys are having neighbor problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, ours are easing up now as well
I know.
because of what we just discussed. So it's like who's next on the rotation? Maybe Gentle Street will have neighbor problems next.
Yeah. I'm starting to think now that you're saying it, because we weren't quiet this weekend. We're up relatively late.
But I think
Maybe there's a certain person's voice whose frequency just absolutely just pierces through the walls, and as soon as that hears it, it just sets off alarms and everyone goes. That could be it.
I think it's got to be the bassy yells when you're watching the footy, and it's
Yeah.
just scoring a try go over and everyone up in arms.
Yeah.
Would you
Deep
believe
baritones.
that I yelled louder than I think Ed did at one point in the game last
During
week?
the Manly
Did you watch the
game.
Manly game?
I was watching the Manly game
Who
because I was
watched it?
cooking.
Who
it was
watched
me and
it?
Ed.
Just you two?
Ed was glued to the TV.
What were
I
you
was
doing?
watching. What's he doing?
I think I was cooking or cleaning or something. I was just floating around.
You're
Yeah.
around. You might have
Yeah.
been on land patrol.
Yeah, maybe. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, something like
Maybe.
that. Probably cooking.
But yeah, I was happy with myself. I get sometimes excited.
It's fun to get into it.
It is. I think it is.
Because it's the same with me. I guess you could say like, oh, Kody, you're into it. Of course you get into it.
Yeah.
But like games that I don't care about, or the AFL, for example, like it's fun to get behind something that you don't really care about occasionally. You know what I mean? Just for the sake of camaraderie.
Not as invested as well.
Yeah.
If something goes bad, you just go, whatever.
Ah,
No, that's fine. I'll leave it.
I just lost a $5 multi, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah, we'll see. There's your danger. You've got too much money in on it.
Yeah.
But Ed has said that there's nothing better than watching the footy at home. And I even posed to him, what about, live at the stadium? And he said, no. Like maybe at Brookvale Oval.
Yeah.
But that's it. He loves being able to shout at the top of his lungs at home.
Yeah.
Which he can't do.
Yeah.
Good. Nice.
Well, like it is like rugby league is a game that is best suited to like TV format. Like it's better to watch league on TV because you get like, it's all just like kind of follows the ruck. Whereas in AFL, it's like way more going on on the field.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that I watched any of that Swans game we went to a couple of weeks ago.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
You weren't there either, were you?
Yeah.
No.
I went and I sat next to Ed. Silly move.
Bad move.
Silly move. And Wilson. So we probably watched, I don't know, cumulative 20 minutes of the game.
You also have to be pretty focused.
Yeah.
In an AFL match, the field is much bigger. And if something's going on the other side, I mean, they've got a massive screen now, so it doesn't really matter. You end up watching the screen half the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just have no idea what's going on.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I went to watch my cousin's dating one of the players from Port Adelaide.
Must be nice.
And I went to watch his game. And I think because like, it's like I kind of know this guy.
Yeah.
I was like full into it, which was awesome.
No, that's good.
That was awesome. And I actually had a really great time then. But other than that, I don't really get AFL for the most part.
Neither.
Let's try and stay. I'm just going to try and bring us back on course.
Yeah, sorry, we got distracted there.
We will tangent. Jacob, the way you kind of operate in your life is like you can come into a room and I won't have noticed you walk in, you just kind of happen to be sitting next to me and you kind of exit the same way. And I feel like that's a good way to just sort of give context to the way that your entire life operates. I don't know, it's almost like you teleport to and from places,
Yeah.
But School Holiday Jacob is around a lot more.
Yeah, certainly. And I think that phenomenon kind of happens because I'm always kind of doing two things during the week, especially when you're at my house during the week.
Yeah.
I'll be working at home and then just pop my head out. That's like a little brain break.
Yeah.
When, people are over and I just take a break from my work. So kind of pop in, pop out is kind of easy, but certainly school holidays, it's a great time. Great time to be a teacher.
Yeah,
certainly.
Dude. So this is your first year of teaching. Delo was saying you do English, history, and drama.
Yes. So I was at uni and I trained only to do history, but the way that the demand is for teachers at the moment is they basically got me to teach everything.
Isn't it also male teachers? Are you guys kind of hot property?
Yeah, also, yeah, definitely. I think there's a privilege to being male teachers. Like when I started, everyone was saying, oh, it's good to have, more male teachers. I'm like, yeah, it's good for me. I'm glad, I'm happy to be wanted, but, there are plenty of teachers, I'm sure. They're all pretty good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. How are you finding it, all in all?
All in all, it's hectic. It's a bit of a roller coaster. Certainly highs and lows. I think it was good to finish this term and feel very fulfilled. I finished the first term and I feel like I just got shot by a shotgun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I was barely surviving.
Yeah.
But term 2, I feel like I got more stuff done. I'm actually doing a decent job.
Yeah.
And when you pull off a good lesson, there's nothing better.
Yeah, right.
But there's certainly a lot of troughs along the way.
Yeah.
A lot of blow-ups and breakdowns and kids yelling at you. And
Yeah. What's that like, dude? Like, have you been sprayed by a fucking little rat bag?
yeah, several times.
What happened? Can you, does one come to mind?
Yeah.
Are you fine to talk about this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to mention what school
Yeah.
you teach at.
No, this is
Yeah.
just super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, the latest one, there's been plenty. The latest one was on the playground, and I was doing lunch duty at the front oval, just on the grass. And these kids wanted to play tackle football, and obviously banned. So they started lunch by trying to run it straight, and I see that straight away. I go over, and I'm saying, "Okay, guys, we can't run it straight. No tackling. You guys know the rules." And they're like, "Sure." Walk away. 10 minutes later, I turn around and one of them absolutely picks up the other guy and dumps him on his head.
Yeah,
And
right.
immediately I just charge over and I'm like, it was the Friday, lunchtime. I was so tired. And I start spraying the kid. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I told you what to do. You know this, you know that. And then he's like, he basically said, effing, you're such a dumb effing C.
Yeah, right.
Get out of my face. And then I'm like, that's it. Let's go to the deputy.
Yeah.
No, F off. And then he was so indignant and just would refuse any instruction.
Right.
And that was a real big shocking moment because I'm just saying, what can I do?
Yeah.
What do I do for this?
Totally.
What do I do?
I think it's fair to
what
say-
year was this kid in?
Year 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tough year, dude.
Tough year. And also, you're not. This is a podcast. We're on the visual medium. Check the Instagram to see. But Jacob, you are the sort of person that if you were a teacher in my school, I would respect the heck out of you. I would be probably a little bit scared because I think you could be pretty terrifying to a high schooler.
Yeah.
If you turn it on.
Yeah.
So that's massive for that kid to come back at you.
Yeah. Yeah. Having that in the back pocket is certainly a good tool. And that's, again, going back to what we were saying about male versus female teachers, just being able to have a physical presence, raise my voice. It's extremely useful.
Yeah.
You don't want to overuse it though. I feel like they'll get a bit desensitized, but certainly with some classes and also being on the younger side, kids tend to get a bit too friendly with me.
Yeah.
And then when I've noticed they've been crossing the line too much, that's when you just like whip it out.
Yeah, dude. Oh, shit.
Yeah, and you just hear everyone just goes quiet and you just hear their faces drop and you're like, all right, back on track.
Yeah.
Back to the start.
Yeah. It's interesting when because obviously I can only compare it from my own experience, but when like a nice teacher fucking snaps, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the vibe I get.
Yeah, that's
you're
that's
like
it.
you're
That's
nice. Your presence is really nice. But then if you want to just rip in,
and it's more just like they've realized, they've fucked up. Like, we've pushed it too far.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
totally.
Yeah.
That's so interesting that a kid would blatantly just like refuse to do that. Like, I would never.
No, of course.
Nor do I have the physical attributes to drop another student on his head. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Do you think like as time goes on, because like you said, when I'm over at your house during the week, you're like working late every night, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, weekdays. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that going to like ease off at some stage?
It will next year. Being a first year teacher, I'm teaching these programs for the first time.
Sure.
So I tend to want to make my own resources, plan my new lessons.
Yeah.
But if I'm teaching all the same subjects next term, that's when you recycle stuff and
Totally
get to reuse stuff. But at the moment, it's infamously difficult being a first year teacher.
Yeah,
Just because
hectic.
of that. Yeah.
Hectic.
Yeah.
Well, obviously school holidays now, and we've got is it spearheaded by you, our little film? Do you want to tell us about it? Is this?
It's a bit improper. I would say it's certainly Kane's brainchild.
Oh, Kane told us.
I would say he's the mastermind.
You were part of the roots though.
Yeah, we were having the discussion, but it would be
Credit to Kane.
So Kane's taken
credit
over
to
this.
Kane.
Credit to Kane.
So I was
Credit to
I was under the impression that this was your brain.
No. It's a joint venture.
Are you now spearheading the operation though?
No, it's it's a
Same,
joint
you
venture.
two,
Yeah.
two of you.
We
Do you want to
co-hosting.
explain what's going down on the 29th, dude?
Sure. So on the 29th, we're going to get a bunch of young, strapping, talented artists.
Yep.
And we'll split them up into teams.
Yeah.
Unknown the size yet, but essentially it's a short film contest where they'll have a day to make a short film, each little team, and then we'll come together at the nighttime and display our films and get around and have a good time and watch some great products.
Are we suiting up for the evening? Because we absolutely should be.
We could
We
definitely
absolutely
red
should
carpet
be.
situation.
100%.
That would be really fun.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And me and Kane were certainly thinking if we host it a bit like an Oscars night.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
And we'll have awards and give out prizes. And I think we got to be in tuxedos if we're going to be, reading out and presenting films.
Yeah.
and
Yes,
stuff.
for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a film festival.
Also, definitely, director gets up, says a speech about their film before you play it, sort of situation. Thanks the family, But no, an awesome idea and a lot of effort to go through for just a group of us. Very exciting.
Yeah.
It's going to be a packed in 12 hours. I think the funny thing is everyone's probably going to come in, take it pretty seriously as well.
Totally.
Like it's going to be like everyone's going to be there at 7.
Yeah. Well, everyone that follows the Barflies podcast, frequent flyers alike, get a pretty good insight to sort of the ridiculous things that our friend group gets up to vis-a-vis the OzTag game we played a mere couple of months ago.
I missed that.
Were you not there that day?
I was injured, remember? I had that
Oh,
period,
that's right.
the stint of OzTag where I got injured, which was extremely upsetting, but I made it back for the finals. So
without getting too into it, one of the most satisfying days of my life.
Which one, the finals or the one where we beat?
The one where we beat the boys.
Yeah, certainly.
That was better than the grand final.
The finals felt like we were in the trenches. Like it actually felt like we were holding off like an army in the grand final because we all were like injured, cramping up like crazy. Like people were coming on and off constantly. We had orange slices on the side.
Yeah.
But very heroic game, really fun. Really bummed that we missed the other one. And even to add to that, this is a bit of hot news. Their captain, let's say, Nathan, just got an injury that seems like it could be ending the Brad Parker army for the next season.
Nathan did. When?
ACL.
When?
On the weekend.
Yeah.
No.
Brad Parker army, no more. According to Ed.
ACL.
Yeah.
Wow, live reaction from.
That's a live reaction. Yeah.
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah, no, heavy,
Yeah, it's
heavy. Also heavy because it means
Devo.
that it doesn't look like I'm going to be getting involved in the next grudge match for probably 6 months.
Mate, that sucks.
I know.
More for Nathan. I'm just
More
thinking
for-
about
yeah,
like
no,
that
I
is
know.
such a bad injury. That is the worst. I have such a bad fear of doing my ACL.
Really?
Yeah.
Doesn't cross my mind ever.
Do you see how like a lot of ACLs get done?
No.
It's like a guy like Kate's brother did his ACL, for example. He was going up for a header, no one around him. He jumped up, headed the ball, landed, out for a year.
twist?
No,
Straight.
straight up and down jump.
The ACL's on the side of the
It's
knee.
the
is that
it's the
one?
middle ligament in your
Yeah,
knee.
sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Anterior cruciate ligament.
Yes.
Right. Be right there.
Inside,
Anterior. Outside.
outside.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
anterior.
And what's the middle
Some-
one then?
Don't know.
And the inside one's MCL.
Medial.
Yes.
Yeah. That would make sense.
Fuck. True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Anyway, it just happened
yeah.
it just happens in really like innocuous situations. I don't know how Nate. Do you know how Nathan did his?
He said it was a kick, and he just went to chase a kick in play, and then probably just that acceleration tore it.
Yeah.
That's
Isn't
all he
it
said.
so bizarre? It's
Yeah.
so scary. Eh?
Yeah.
Sign that we're getting older.
Yeah, dude.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
The amount of injuries that have popped up recently, and when you're 20 and you're hanging out with people who are mid 20s and they're like, "Oh, I'm getting old, my neck, my back," and you're like, "Shut up,
Yeah.
you're still young."
Yeah.
And now it's happening, and I go, "I'm almost injured more often than I'm
Yeah.
not."
Yeah.
And as soon as I play sport, Ed, for example, plays a basketball game, comes back screaming in pain on a Monday. He checked out of the game a minute after they started,
Yeah.
and he's back spasming.
Yeah.
Oh, was this Monday just gone?
No, it's 2 Mondays
Oh,
ago.
Probably
weeks
every
ago.
third Monday.
It's,
Yeah, it
it's,
happens.
it's like it's a monthly occurrence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll go to basketball, and it'll be just a wager. What are the odds that he comes back in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well, he was saying last week he locked some guy down.
Oh yeah, he did. He gloved him.
I'm sure he was saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scary, right? It's getting old. Well, me and you actually both getting older pretty soon.
Very soon.
Like getting literally
Mark
older.
your calendars.
24 and 25.
24. Oh, you're 24.
24.
Rats. I thought we were the same age.
Really?
Yeah, I thought we were both 25. I was pretty happy to have someone else reaching that milestone with me.
Yeah.
Everyone
Now,
else
that's
is
the thing
24.
about being friends with all you guys because you're all in, in the theme of school holidays. You're all in the year above.
Yeah.
So you guys you softened the blow. You softened 24 for me when you all turned 24 last year.
Dude, 24 was cruising. You're going to be 20.
I'm 25
you'll
at
be
the end of the
25.
year, though.
Okay.
December 4.
Yeah, December 4th. That's it.
Okay.
So are you close to Anthony? I didn't realize. Your
I'm
birthday.
next Sunday, my birthday,
Mm.
16th.
16th.
Yeah,
We
good
do know that.
times.
Yeah.
Just to circle back to the short film contest.
Yeah.
We have a few people in the group that are actually filmmakers to some extent.
Filmmakers.
Jared Travers, one of the obvious ones.
Yeah.
How's that going to go down? What are you thinking for that? Yeah, like, are you going to split them up?
Yeah.
Bryn's mentioning he wants to be involved. Like, how's that going to go?
Yeah, well, originally a fair idea is just to split them up
Yeah.
into teams and then just randomly assign everyone else.
Yeah,
But the more chaotic and perhaps the more fun approach would just be to go full random.
just full random.
Yeah.
And if Jared and Bryn get on the same team, I'm keen to see what they come up with.
Exactly. And me and Kane were sitting down the other day working on it and pretty much just did a random run of all the names and we're like, yep, this looks pretty good.
Yeah,
This
okay.
would work out one way or the other.
Yeah.
Obviously there's some inequality, some really experienced people.
Yeah.
But I think that adds to it.
Yeah, totally.
You might
Yeah.
end up getting one amazing film and then one really kind of shoddy homemade film that would still be great to watch and have a laugh at. So
Do you know who I'm really keen to see?
Who?
Whose film I'm keen to see? make-offs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is a great point.
I'm so keen to see make-offs.
I didn't even think about
Because
that.
he could come out with the shottiest, but also the best film at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think there's people you would expect to come out. Like Kane, I expect to come out firing. But now that you've said make-off, I'm like, yeah, I would love to see that. Like make-off and Blav
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good
together
one.
making a film.
Yeah.
And like it'd just be like the IT crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
IT boys.
It'd be almost good. Like there is an argument for having pre-catered teams,
Yeah.
because you can get those synergies that will kind of work really well together.
Yeah.
I think,
So
I don't know. I think the group that is doing it, I look at it, and if you put anyone with anyone, I think you're going to get synergy.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
It's a
I
fair
think
point.
I don't think it's not big enough, and it's not dispersed enough to be I don't know. You're just going to get good teams that work together.
yeah, there's a natural harmony because we're a pretty, close knit kind of group, all pretty similar anyway.
A good,
Yeah.
maybe potentially a good idea because I would think about. I'm always thinking about it from a Barfly's point of view.
Yeah.
But like a good thing to do would be one person from each group is allocated to do a behind the scenes video from the day.
Yeah.
That could be like, so it's like a film package. Like
Yeah,
you get the
nice,
the
nice,
film
nice.
and also
Yeah.
the behind, because like we get the final film, but I want to see what went on during the day because like there's going to be like little excursions, right? Like
Yeah.
at some point the team's going to have to go and get lunch. Like
Yep,
where
yep.
are the filming locations? Like
Yeah. There was originally we were having the idea of just having 2-person teams, and we were like, oh, who's going to hold the camera? And we thought it'd be funny if someone just gets a random bystander on the street and just gets them to hold the camera for some scenes.
That'd be fun.
And you could still do it with
I think
groups of
that could
3
still
or 4.
happen, yeah.
If you want just a group shot of everyone, it's like, who's holding the camera?
Yeah.
And it's just tap someone on the shoulder.
yeah, totally. That'd be awesome.
I reckon the whole DVD package is what we want. So you want the film,
Yeah,
extended film,
yeah,
behind the scenes,
yeah.
audio commentary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
audio
Well,
commentary.
and what about like
And maybe like a mini game.
Yeah, what about like the yeah,
You need a menu. You need a
Yeah,
DVD
yeah, you need the
menu.
menu.
Yeah.
yeah.
Scene selection.
Yeah.
everything.
Scene select. Yeah.
Scene selection. It'd be good to even do like little those interviews that they do with the actors.
Oh,
and
the
stuff.
sit down
yeah,
interview,
yeah,
and it's
Where you
cutting-
got the poster in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the press package. Yeah.
Well, I was
Yeah.
thinking I'll probably do a poster for our one.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Do you know what I
During
mean?
the time. Yeah.
Yeah, like during the day,
You'd
yeah.
have time for it for sure.
That would be good.
Yeah.
It would be great if we just select one and we do a full on kind of product for it, or even if we do it for all of them and kind
Maybe-
of leak them
maybe
out
we
slowly.
should-
I mean, that's a good thing about having 2 big teams. If I'll
Yeah.
go back to that,
Yeah.
is it would be more elaborate.
Mm.
If you had to include multiple steps, like the poster, and then you had to make it a full
Are you
premiere.
saying potentially expanding one of the initial short films into a bigger film? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying if it was bigger teams, because we're talking about the thing of teams. Your big teams,
Yeah.
you can have more of a production.
Yeah.
Less so important about making the film better, more so important about making all of the random side things, like
Yeah.
the audio commentary,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a poster.
Yeah.
But
True.
I don't know.
Which again just kind of gives more value to the people that can edit and like the people who can do those
Yeah,
things.
that's true.
Because if
That's
you just
true.
disperse those people evenly, like on purpose,
Yeah,
you could potentially get more of that stuff done.
yeah.
But also, how do you feel, Kody, about editing in general? Because typically, I feel it's most of the time a one-man job.
Yeah, totally.
And so if it's a 12-hour shoot day, you wrap up in the first half of that and that person's editing for the second half of that, then what are the other people doing? Like sometimes some of them can be sitting over the shoulder and advising on stuff, but I feel like editing would kind of be just pioneered by one person.
Yeah.
And there's a few people floating around to be doing other stuff.
I guess so.
a great
I
point.
guess so. I don't know. I
That's-
guess that
that's a cool-
that kind of comes with the territory, and
Yeah.
that might be potentially one of just the downfalls of the time
Yeah.
constraint. Is
Yeah.
that at some point someone is just going to have to sit down and
Yeah.
knock this thing out.
Yeah. And the other people can prepare the film festival
Yeah.
or whatnot, or set up or cook
Yeah,
dinner or
yeah. Maybe
something
they
like
go
that.
and meet and help set
Yeah.
up the evening
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know. Or maybe you just allocate someone else to figure out how to make a film poster. Like, let's say one team gets to the end. They've only got 2 hours left. Say I'm on the team. And initially you've thought, I'm going to do the poster and the edit. I've only now got time for the edit. I need to delegate the poster to Anthony, who only knows how to use Microsoft Word and Paint. And he's
boy,
just
am
got
I
to
good
figure
at
it
it.
out.
Yeah. Or even
Or he's really good at collaging. I don't know.
Yeah, or even just get someone run to Bunnings and get a poster sheet and physically just draw
Paint
up
it.
a poster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm liking this idea of having additional requirements.
Yeah.
So maybe
It does mean that there's stuff to do.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
So-
you've got to time your day right. You know, you've
Yeah.
got to give enough time to edit and export and all that
Yeah.
stuff at the end of the day. So.
We also do need to be having dinner. And so I think it would make sense that there is a like MasterChef-ish element in the last period where 2 members from each team have to cook some
Yeah.
food so that we can all eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cook for
Like
their own
Yeah.
team sort of thing.
Cook for well, like bring something to the feast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll mark it on 3 criteria. It's the film, the poster, and then the dish that you bring.
Yeah.
No, actually, let's take the dish. Let's take the dish judging
Yeah.
out of it. That's just more. That's a communal thing. That's where
Yeah,
you can
sure.
cross paths and
Sure.
I think the poster would be a good addition though.
Yeah, I
and the
think it
behind
would
the
be.
scenes.
Behind the scenes.
But behind, because I just keep thinking about Makeup. I want to know what Makeup gets up to during the day.
You want to know what he eats for lunch, don't
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Because I feel like some teams, like 3 hours in, will be like, going so
yeah.
hard. Like Jared will be like, and then Makeup will you just like, I don't know,
Do-do-do-do.
just strolling around Vinny's, like
Yeah.
looking for something. Like,
We should wear this one. in
Yeah.
the scene. Oh, that'd be
like
good.
I think it'd just be great to sort of see everyone's.
Yeah.
I think
Production
it's
process.
going to be interesting the choices made for tasks. Like
Mm.
no offense to myself, but if I'm on your team, do not send me into Vinny's to buy something because I'm not going to come out for a long time, and I'm going to come out with things that we don't need.
Can we expand that to just don't send D'Lo to buy anything?
Into
Don't
shop.
send me to buy
Into
anything
shop.
Don't send
unless you know what I have to buy, and
Yeah.
it's like go to Macca's and get these meals.
Yeah.
I will be efficient.
Exactly.
If you go to Macca's and get us some food,
Yeah.
not happening.
No decision making.
Not coming out.
Yeah.
Not coming out in a timely manner, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what's most exciting about the whole project is that we're giving freedom to the teams to do whatever they want genre-wise or
Yeah.
topic-wise. I think what we settled on at the moment is we have some vague prompt that we
Yeah.
give, and then everyone gets to do their own thing. So I'm very interested to see who's coming up with a horror or a romance or what films that people actually want to make.
Yeah.
If people just want to make a abstract, someone was saying Jared would probably be making like an abstract kind of art film and
Yeah.
full silence, no talking.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be cool to see what people want to do and want to make.
Yeah.
Certainly, yeah.
Yeah, I've done one short film contest before, and that had a theme. It was like black and blue. It was something similar to that. And I did a stop motion, clay motion film, and that was really fun. But that's the annoying thing. That would be such a fun thing to make. But when you've got a team of characters, you kind of want to see everyone's faces.
Yeah.
Could be elements.
And that's also very time consuming a stop.
It is
motion.
very
It's
time
a few-
consuming.
bit of yeah. Anyway, similar to the, our group of being entirely consisting of dribblers, we also had our end of financial year dinner
We did.
on Friday night.
Big celebrations.
Big
End of the fiscal
celebration.
year.
Jacob couldn't be there due to school holiday duties. What did you have, a teacher's drinks or something?
Yeah, well, last day of term, so
Of course.
Teachers don't drink that, right?
No, we don't. Certainly
Yeah,
don't do.
we went to we all we all dressed up in suits.
We did.
Went to Marrickville Bolo, and then to Tai Long.
Yep.
Great
One
time.
of the thank you to the good folk at Tai Long for letting us be there.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I
really
felt-
against their own wishes, I
Yeah.
think, to be honest.
Yeah, I really felt bad for the other people in the restaurant. Just not that we were being obnoxious, but generally speaking, just a group of 15, 25-year-olds in suits.
Yeah, this was the best. I've been to some of the dinners with our group before. This was the least obnoxious. But when you've got 17 people there who all like talking to each other, if you get 3 conversations going at once, instantly it's too loud.
Yeah,
Or not too loud, but loud.
it's loud for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
It's loud for sure. But, I feel like, in the grand scheme of things, we were well behaved.
I think we were.
Um,
There was a bottle of tequila on the table that didn't get opened, which I think is a good thing.
That's probably for the
It's
better.
a very positive
That's probably
turn.
for the better.
One thing we didn't think of with wearing suits around, and it's just a general dress up thing. You cannot go anywhere after you've gone to your BYO.
No.
No.
Not even to a pub or a club? Or
No. It's difficult.
Really? You're not letting people in suits?
We got into the Urco, to be fair. Dude,
We did.
We went to, we'll circle back to the awards. A small group of us went to the Marley.
Yeah.
Don't know why. I think we walked out and someone went, we should all just go to the shittest pub.
Yeah.
Just like to really stay on theme here.
Yeah.
And then 5 of us went in and I don't know where the other 15 went.
Well, Ed got made to walk a straight line as you see in the movies.
Ed or EJ?
Ed.
At Marley.
Oh, EJ.
EJ.
EJ got Ed.
Were
didn't
you
get-
there?
No, I didn't. I just got told about this.
Yeah, I was behind EJ, and the bouncer, because EJ was wearing a fedora and like speedies,
Yeah.
looking like an absolute menace.
He looked disheveled.
And the bouncer made him walk in a straight line and back. And I was like talking to some woman who I thought was waiting to line up also. She happened to just also be a secchi. And I was like, is this a joke? Like, I was like, that can't be real. He did not just make him walk. I've never seen that in my 6 years of working in hospitality or just being an adult. Have I ever seen someone be forced to walk up and back in a straight line? And credit to EJ, he pulled it off. And we got it.
Absolutely nailed it. To be honest, sometimes I wouldn't back EJ to walk in a straight line just any time of the day. I could just imagine him just tripping on something.
Well, he's actually more coordinated than you'd think. You'd
No.
rather him walk than talk.
Yes.
Yeah, certainly.
Do you know what
When
I
you
mean?
put it that way, it's a great point.
Anyway, we went in and we sat down with there was two poor 20-year-olds sitting on a large table, so we all sat down next to them, and basically they started asking us what we were doing or whatever, and EJ and Jesse got a little bit too deep into the
Character?
intricacies of our job and also character. But to Jesse's credit, every time we were just kind of telling them we were like finance people, and we were kind of telling them that EJ was like this enigma. We were saying like we were all 25 and EJ was just like this 19-year-old that just came in and made heaps of money. But every time they would ask us a question about like how we made our money or what we did, Jesse would just say something like, "Oh, you're just not quite understanding what I'm saying." They'd be like, "Wait, so he makes more money than you guys? Like, what does he actually do then?" And Jesse just go, you don't quite get it. Like, just full gaslighting these poor 20-year-olds. But a good time nonetheless. So we went to the Urco,
Yeah.
got in.
Lovely.
What award did you get, by the way? Oh, we all did corporate themed awards
We
for
did.
each other.
Do you know what award I get?
Yeah, I remember now. Now
Yeah.
that I've said it, I remember.
Yeah.
Gifted by
It's
EJ to
Gifted
you.
by EJ. And actually a real slap in the face because the way he started presenting it came across like it was going to be the Great Bloke Award.
Yeah.
It came across like this guy is so dependable. He's really reliable. And then at some point, it's like he remembered the award he was giving me. And so he repeated a similar thing to what he'd said before, but then basically just said I was never going to show up on time.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, it's like pretty fair. It's very fair. Like I have little disrespect. I'm like Kronos. I'm like the master of time.
Yeah.
Time just goes whenever I want it to go.
Yeah.
And it stops whenever I feel like
We're
it.
kind of all on Delo's time all the time.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think, well, EJ had explained to me the idea of his and the execution of how it was going to come across. He absolutely didn't nail the execution.
No.
His speech wasn't the speech I'd heard the first time round.
Yeah.
He crumbled under the pressure a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
But the idea was there.
The idea was there, and I appreciated it. He
Yeah.
gave me a clock that was kind of nice.
Yeah, well, I saw it. I was like, dude, can we keep that?
Yeah, as soon as I walked into my room, I put it up my wall. I'm like, this is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great present.
It was good. Yeah.
What did you get, Kody?
I got awarded Best Closer by Dylan.
Yeah.
Just, I guess, for my general sort of vernacular and dribble
And just being able to chat your way into a deal
into a deal.
in this case.
Yeah, I was awarded a $10 note with my name written on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
He had written more, actually.
He wrote Kody Bryan in brackets Best Closer.
Yeah.
But there you
I
go.
reckon a more insulting way of saying that would be best real estate agent. Something like that.
Yeah, that would have been
Which
good.
would have been, I would have taken personal offense.
That would have been,
If that happened
that's
to me.
offensive.
Yeah, I would have taken offense. That would have been funny though in the same.
That would have been
Yeah,
really
for
good.
sure.
That would have been really
It would have
good.
been interesting if Zander was also there.
Well, I want to know, what award would Zander get? What award do you reckon you would get, Jacob?
No clue. I think it's best if, other people decide.
It would have been something to do with you never being.
Yeah,
at
never
things.
being the
Yeah.
biggest absentee or something like
Because
that.
I would have given myself the not showing up on time award.
Yeah,
Like I would have given myself that award for not showing up to meetings on time or something.
I also would have given myself an award for, talking too much.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Um,
I could have also given myself a monologue award. I think, given the current circumstances.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why we do what we do. It was funny. As I left to go down to yours on Friday, dressed in my suit, my boss actually lives in the house behind me,
Yeah,
and he was like, "Oh, Coates, what are you up to tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, I just got my end of financial year for dinner." And he was like, "Oh, for work. And I was like, mate, we actually work together. No, just me and my mates are going out to dinner. But he thought it was very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, no, you go.
Have there been any other situations with your boss living right behind you? I feel like you're running into a few tricky avenues down there.
No, not really. Well, he's also probably like my best mate from work, to be fair. He's
Yeah.
like the only other guy, or one of the 2 other guys at work who are into sport.
Yeah.
So we kind of actually get along really well. But no, not really. It's usually just me doing something weird out the back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Going down to yours with like 6 beers on a Tuesday, being like, what are you doing?
FIFA.
Yeah, going to play FIFA. But yeah, no, good times. Good times all around. We'll sort of start to bring it home here. What are we at? Oh, we're only at 35. We've got a while still. Mac the Knife Dude.
Yeah.
Getting a little bit of a spin on Rage. What was that like?
Dream come true. To be fair, and I feel like a pretty bad band member. I mean, I don't know if anyone else did, but I didn't actually get up and watch it. It was at 4 a.m. and I think I had work the next day.
And you've seen the video.
I've seen the video.
You're in the video.
I was in the video. Yeah, very happy about that.
Did the guys get up?
No, I don't think anyone got up. Everyone kind of tried to palm it off to someone else saying you should film this for our socials. And I think everyone just didn't do that. But real dream come true.
Yeah, that's
Getting
crazy.
on Rage. Massive credit to Bryn and Mikey for making that masterpiece. Co-directed, edited together as well, I believe. But yeah, absolute masterminds. It's done really well.
Because the video's awesome.
Thank you.
I've been meaning to ask you and or Bryn about it in a while. What's the metaphor of the video?
The metaphor, it's hard to explain. It's something that, I mean, I wish Bryn was here to actually run into it. But in this case, like if you've seen the video, it's hard to explain. He's pulling on a rope for the entire video.
Yeah.
And at the end of the video, it's him on the other end of the rope.
Yeah.
So it's like he's struggling against himself
Sure.
the entire time. There's more layers to it, but again, it's not my story to tell.
Place to
and I
say.
think it's the sort of thing where, as with any music, you've got to kind of derive your own meaning from it. Because sometimes I've found this with song in the past. I don't know if you guys would agree. You'll be listening to the song, you'll create all this meaning around it, and then the artist will come out and say what it really means, and you go, "Wow, that's really ruined it for me."
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Sure. I've been like, and I think I listened to and or read an interview that Bryn was in. And I've kind of thought this about the way that he writes music before, but it's not just like, you know, he's not. It's kind of poetic the way that he writes his music, right? It's not him just talking about like going and doing something and saying it like that. He'll say it in sort of backwards, roundabout, almost like riddly kind of way. Like it is poetic in a sense. And he said that in that interview that's kind of the way that he tries to write. Yeah. Which I think is really, really cool. So I would like to ask him about it at some stage.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the main things of the song as well, circling back to
this is for Blood of My Blood,
This is for Blood of My Blood.
Yep.
Most recent single. It's about creating having new realizations on people that you have built up over your whole life. Whether it be, it's kind of hard to describe, but you know, if you've got someone, you've got an image of them in your mind, and then that kind of gets shattered. Yeah. And you have to, you know, create a new relationship to that person. So I think that is part of it as well. And it's like about those sort of big changes that happen, particularly when you leave high school. I think it's one of the big times that I found it.
Yeah, totally.
And I've had it with many people that I look up to in my life when, your just relationship with them changes. And you kind of have to come to terms with, you know, them maybe not being the same person that you had thought they would be. In the same way that when you build up a song in your head to have a meaning and then someone says it's got a different meaning, you go, well, that's completely changed my thought of it.
Yeah. But what's great about that is, you know, it's a pretty universal concept. You know what I mean? But in that songwriting process, is that shared? Is that a shared songwriting process between all the members, or how does that work, or is it different for different songs?
These ones in particular were a lot of the songs were lockdown songs that were created by Bryn. There was, you know, workshopping obviously done to create the final product and bring it into a final piece, but he was the primary writer of all of them. So again, like it's hard for me. I can speak about what I feel the song means to me, but the meaning of the song and what the lyrics mean and stuff is really kind of like Bryn's story to tell. I feel. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love to have him on one day. Maybe once the EP is finally out. Can
Yeah.
I say that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think we're pretty open saying that we've got an EP coming.
Yeah. When is it coming?
It's going to be towards the end of the year. Again, we don't even know the dates.
Sure.
We've got the songs, but the process of kind of releasing it, and we're all again circling back to the very beginning. Everyone is going to Europe. Everyone's got stuff on, so everyone. It's difficult.
Is that including your band, including the band members, or just the general
band members? Band members.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's going to be away at different times, and so having to fill people in. You know, you can get away with a couple of gigs with filling people in and whatnot, but particularly for the big ones, we kind of want everyone to be there.
Totally.
Yeah.
Are you going, so six tracks? EP?
5
tracks?
5-track EP.
2 singles?
I think we're going to have another single
Okay.
in early September.
Nice.
That one is probably one of my favorite songs, particularly to play because it's very fast and energetic and fun.
Yeah.
It's called Curb My Bite. That's going to be coming. Yeah, I think that's September maybe. And I don't want to make any final calls on that. I always forget.
Yeah.
Also because it's kind of up in the air. But yeah, that's going to be the next single. And then EP to come after that. I guess
Sick.
towards the end of the year, I guess summer maybe we're looking at sort of thing. So yeah.
You guys have had a great 6 months.
It has been awesome.
Like from your first gig back, the one that I missed,
Which one?
the one that was kind of your first one back in a while that everyone went to, like middle of last year, maybe it's August, October. Was it the bank or something? Did you play at the bank or
Yeah,
we did. We played at Waywoods.
Waywoods? Yeah, I think it was that one.
Was it that one?
Yeah, and everyone went to Kelly's after.
Yep, that was
Yep.
that gig. That was fun.
I would say probably since then, it was kind of like that, Labour in Vain, Triple J, Blood of My Blood, Rage, kind of in that order.
Yeah, Triple J. Another crazy one.
Yeah,
Thank
also
you.
kind of
Thank
like...
you, Triple J.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you, FBI, as well. Both playing our song.
Like, you've got your mitts in a few pies now. Do you know what I mean?
It's one of those things. I mentioned this the other day, and I think this probably happens to a lot of people, but you have these crazy thoughts as a kid, and you go, bucket list, this is something I'd love to do. And when you start ticking them off, you don't really realize it's happening.
Yeah.
Or you think it's a way smaller deal than it was in your head.
Yeah.
Rage, for example, it happened. I went, cool, yeah, we're on Rage. So are all these other artists. Then I thought back to when I was 6 and I was getting up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning to watch Rage before I tuned into Saturday Disney. And if I had thought back then that I was going to be on Rage, I would have freaked out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Totally.
Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of little milestones you chip away at.
Yeah. Isn't there a saying something about like making your 8-year-old self and your 80-year-old self proud?
Yeah,
I was hoping one of
I've
you were
never
going to
heard
hook up on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Have you heard it?
No, not at all. But I think a similar one is just trying to get to the end of your life and then seeing the person that you could have become versus the person who you are.
Yeah.
You know, really just trying to fulfill your potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it sounds like you're doing, which is great. But it speaks to that ambitious nature of hitting those milestones and then wanting more kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is there anything you really got your eye on for Mac the Knife that you really want more?
Yeah, I want to probably be more involved in writing next time. That's my big goal, because I think coming into a band as an extra member is tricky because you've got to
More latest edition as opposed to
latest
extra
edition,
member.
not extra member, latest edition. So I wasn't there for the inception of the band, and so getting to grips with, how you would write and the sort of messages you want to get, and something that you could bring to everyone that you think everyone would be happy to get around. It's tricky because you've got to not necessarily adjust, but you've got to be really comfortable with what's going on.
And it's also putting yourself out there, I imagine.
Yeah,
especially if you're writing something about something that's very meaningful to you.
Yeah.
That comes probably a bit more naturally to Bryn than it would to you. So and
And
you know what I
everyone in
mean?
the band is so talented.
Yeah.
And so that's probably my biggest thing, is being able to, put myself out there. That's my personal goal. I'd love to obviously be playing festivals or that sort of thing.
Do you
Those ones are always there.
Do you have like a festival goal, or like is Enmore Theatre like a big goal for you
That
guys?
would be crazy. I think before Enmore Theatre, it would be cool to just be an early act on a big festival.
Yeah.
You know, one of the New Year's festivals, or, you know, the Splendor or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's, in my head, the next goal that feels quite achievable.
Yeah.
So something like that. Enmore Theatre is a
Long-term goal.
yeah. To sell that out would be unreal.
I definitely think you guys are in the pocket. You can't really be doing much more than where you're at right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you look back, like you say, it's easy to sort of just go, oh yeah, cool, we're on Rage. Dude, if you kind of like look back, like the way I just sort of spelled it out, it's a pretty impressive resume from where you were this time last year.
It is cool. I had one cool moment the other week, or yesterday actually. Chelsea messaged me as she was going into work and said, I just saw someone wearing a Mac the Knife t-shirt. I went, that's cool.
Yeah.
And it has happened a few times and I've gone, nice.
And
I
you have
don't
no idea.
know this person
Yeah.
and they're wearing a t-shirt that is from the band.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
That's
That's
sick.
really cool.
Yeah,
times.
congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's great.
I listened to the EP with Ryan Phillips on the way back from
Yeah.
our weekend away. Can I say that?
I think you can.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to get in trouble. I've been told I can share it with,
Close friends.
close friends.
Whatever, we're close friends.
So what you share
Close
it with?
friends whose opinion's very important.
Yeah.
You know?
I will say we were also talking over the top of it the entire time. It wasn't like a listening session.
No respect.
Yeah, you could say that.
Lack
But
of.
it sounded fucking awesome. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty public about how much I love both the new singles that are out, as are all our friends. There's a reason we keep showing up to every gig.
Yeah.
It's because we have such a fucking good time.
Yeah.
Go Mac the Knife. Mac the Knife till I die.
I love this. I like this.
Do you want to just keep blowing smoke up your ass for the rest of the episode or what?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll send this straight to the band and make sure they get
This
all
is
this.
just your promo for next.
Yeah, this is
next
this
single.
is actual just full promo.
Yeah.
It's good. I feel like I'm actually talking because the other thing is because I am one of the later editions of the band. Again, I'm not part of all the message. I haven't done a lot of the radio interviewing or anything like that because that's Bryn's thing, and Curtis and Johnny also are super integral to
Yeah.
what the messages that we're putting out.
Yeah.
So this is pretty fun. This is kind of me cosplaying a Triple
Yeah.
J interview.
yes. Cosplay. This is a real thing. This is
Yeah,
no
yeah.
cosplay here.
You
This
should
is-
send this to Brendan and be like, dude, get me on.
I'm going to send it. I'll be like, look how well I spoke. And then he'll come back and be like, I can't believe you said that about the singer.
Dude, you weren't meant to show the EP. Like, what are you doing?
he'll be like, we're censoring half of this.
Yeah.
That's so good. Right. Anything else?
Closing comments?
Closing comments?
Are we at closing time yet?
Oh, we're getting there. We're just about getting there. Just
I don't
about
know.
closing up. Anything coming up for us
Anything
at the
coming up?
moment?
I mean,
I think one thing to say is kind of mentioned before. There's this waterfall cascade staggering of everyone going to Europe.
Yeah.
So I think safe travels to a lot of our friends. I think
Yeah.
some of them are having a good time. Ryan, surprising a few familiar faces.
Yeah. That
is
They're
a good story.
completely
Yeah,
unannounced.
we haven't even spoken about
Yeah,
that.
so who's probably got the best perspective on this?
Well, everyone knows Ryan from the infamous Pub Roaches podcast.
yeah.
Yeah, you probably have a better insight than I. He basically, again, apologies, Ryan, if I can't say this, parted ways with his working career
Yeah.
for, one reason or another, booked a spontaneous flight to Europe and went and surprised a bunch of our mates that were already over there. I haven't actually heard much about the response.
I think 1 out of 2 absolutely crushed it. For one of them, apparently Tully smelt the rat. And so he wasn't as surprised when it happened.
How did Tully smell the rat? Do you know?
Because Ed told him.
Yeah, essentially, it was a conversation in the kitchen before Tully had left. But the day that Ryan booked his tickets and Ed had known.
Right.
And so he said to Tully, oh, Ryan's going to Europe. And as that was coming out of his mouth, he realized it was meant to be a surprise.
No,
And then
Ryan
Tully-
sent him a message.
Oh, yeah.
What happened is Ryan sent him a message saying, I'm going to go to Europe. And then Ed said it. Next message, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, shit.
The joys of technology.
Well, to be honest, that's kind of on Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send them together.
Yeah.
I think, and the funny thing is, Tully had talked the day before about Ryan going over, and Ryan had talked to me, and Tully was skeptical that he was going to make it over because he said, I'm going to come over. I think I'm going to go to the festival with you. The festival that on the first day Tully arrived, he was going to go to this festival.
Yeah.
And Tully was just didn't think he was going to make it there. So Ryan then booked the ticket. Tully at this point had convinced himself that Ryan was going to come. Then after Tully had finished his conversation with Ryan, or, once he was on the idea that he wasn't coming, Ed goes, oh, he's coming. And there was also a deadline. Ryan was going to make his decision at, say, 5 p.m. on the Friday.
Yeah.
And at 5 p.m. on the Friday, Ed goes to him, oh, Ryan's coming.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened.
Yeah, sure.
Tully knew there was a deadline. And
also,
then,
and like you say, Tully had just been amongst the general, like Ryan had been saying, I might go.
Yeah.
Like, it would be shocking to see Ryan there, but if I was to be least surprised by someone who was surprising me in Europe, I would say Ryan would be the least surprising.
Yeah.
Given the context of his broader context of what was happening.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I had it floated to me that people were going to surprise me when I'm in Europe. And now I'm going to have this false hope. It's almost annoying because it was said we were out and Jared and Chelsea Jared said to me, dude, I'm going to save up. I'm going to come and surprise you guys. And then he said, I'm going to bring Chelsea with me as well. And I went, wow, that would be unreal. And I thought about how happy I'd be if that happened. And now, that's slightly disappointing that it's very unlikely to
Probably
happen.
never going to happen.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've got it in my head, if they came over, again, I would be surprised, but I go, you already told me you might do this.
Yeah.
So lose-lose situation.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose. Certainly ruined the surprise.
What if I rocked up?
Well,
now
it's
you've
already
said
floated.
it.
Yeah.
I already had that in my head that was a possibility.
Well, you know where I'm at.
I know where you're at.
My card declines when I try and pay for pool.
Yeah.
So.
And for context, Kody was originally going to be coming and joining his 2 roommates and my brother
And you.
and me. Yeah, I was going to be there always.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out.
Yeah. It's an 80% trip, we like to call it.
Yeah,
80%.
missing
80% of the crew's there.
one key member.
So, what's your plan for the place when it's empty, Kody?
I don't know. They're only gone for a month. We kind of talked about having people, but I was kind of like, I don't really want to have 2 randos and it just be me.
Sure.
But yeah,
kinda
and like
lose-
everyone, I think even you guys were kind of like, Ed was kind of wanting someone, or you guys were kind of wanting someone that you knew.
Yeah.
Is Davey
Maybe.
moving? Maybe, because he messaged Kane as well. Makes more sense that he moves into yours, given he's got like a 6-week block as opposed to a 4-week if he moves in here. Because I'd be happy to have Davey, but I think the boys were kind of like, I think they're both getting paid while they're over there.
Yeah.
So they're kind of chill to just pay rent.
Yeah.
Especially, because he's on, and like, especially because I'm not in the house like a lot of the time. So it was kind of like, it'll just be kind of like randoms in here. It's not like with you and Ed where there's 2 of you.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not home, it's kind of just like,
Yeah, exactly.
do you know what I mean?
You've
All
left
this
the
stuff
house to
and-
random
yeah.
people.
Exactly, which I guess is kind of how it goes. But yeah, anyway, it's just going to be me, which I'm going to hate, especially given the ghost stories that I've been hearing lately.
Ghost stories.
Yeah, I heard Tully's ghost story.
You haven't heard that?
I hadn't heard that before.
Surely
Have you
he's
heard
told
it?
it on the pod. Yeah.
No, he hasn't.
The ghost story.
Do you know what wigged me out about the ghost story so much, though?
What?
Is that Tully's ghost story that he told from your house, which is down there. I'd heard a ghost story that was from one of the boys who lives in the pub that I work in
Yeah.
that exactly matched Tully's ghost story.
You are kidding.
So the first time I heard it from the guy at work, it's kind of one of those ones where, same as when Tully tells you, you can kind of go, it's not that I don't believe you,
Yeah.
but there's not enough here for me to be
Yeah.
scared.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when there's 2 identical ghost stories from 2 venues a mere 200 meters away from each other,
Very, very close.
that scares me.
Was it... Can you tell the... Do we have time? Can you tell the
Yeah, we
union
can tell
one?
it. So the
Okay.
union one was basically like the boys who live in the union. It's been a family-owned pub for 40, 50 years. 40 years.
Yeah.
So they've been living in there since they were born. One of the boys had a ghost story from when he was 12 or 13. And this is obviously why I was skeptical. But the story exactly matched Tully's, where he saw a light where there was no reason to see light. And then the light kind of went through him. And his whole body went cold and he got goosebumps. And basically, yeah.
Very similar.
Very, very, very
Because
similar.
Tully's heard something in the kitchen, popped his head out when he was half asleep early in the morning or late at night, however you want to say it.
However, can I jump in here? Because this is a
Yeah.
critical part of the story that I think is often missed. he thought there was an intruder in the house.
Yes, that was the thing.
So he said his body filled with adrenaline and
Yeah.
he was wide awake.
Yeah.
Of course, he'd just woken up,
Yeah.
which is what kind of pulls it back a little bit.
Mm.
But the fact that he was kind of like, I was alert,
Yeah.
weeds me out a bit as well.
The way he said it was that when it first happened, he went, "Oh, whatever. I heard a sound." And then he quickly switched to going, "Hang on. I heard a sound. There actually could be someone in our kitchen."
Yeah.
And it was the sound of cutlery rattling.
Yeah.
Popped his head around, was kind of saying something, and almost in the inverse way to the Union story, rather than there being a light where there shouldn't be light, it was almost like someone was backlit with a light.
Right.
So you could see their
It
shadow.
was like a shadow,
Oh,
like a
interesting.
shadow figure.
shadow
Okay.
down
In the
down
dark.
the hallway.
Yeah.
In the dark, in the middle of the night.
Way scarier.
Yeah.
Rushed towards him, all his hairs stood on end, goosebumps, cold, sprinted down to Jared's room,
Yeah.
woke him up immediately, couldn't go to sleep for hours.
Yeah.
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 Naturally. Third day you've
Naturally.
moved in as well, dude. You'd be like, should I move back home?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was scary. I was upstairs sleeping soundly.
Do you know what I've heard? Because I work with one of the girls who lives next door to you.
Yeah.
I was telling her about this story last night, and she was like, "No fucking way, really? The boys next door?" I was like, "Yeah, dude." She was like, "Dude, me and one of my other roommates had both on our own accord thought that there was something going on in the house, and she brought it up to her other roommate. And her other roommate was like, 'No way! I thought there was something going on here as well.'"
Really?
Yeah,
I
was
feel
only
like we've talked to the neighbours about this before as well.
this was only a month ago or so. And basically, they both got really freaked out and they like ran sage through the house, lit the incense, cleaned the house. And they said they're feeling better now, but they hadn't had an experience like Tully's. But she said she'd had nights where she'd woken up and like felt like there was someone in the room, couldn't get back to sleep.
Yeah.
Just kind of weird
vibes.
things. And
Yeah.
again, it could just be people wigging
Yeah.
out, living in old houses in Sydney's beautiful
Always.
inner west.
Yeah.
I think
Um,
like there could be some
but it's all kind of.
validity to the story.
Do you know what I mean?
What- yeah.
the
what-
only reason I think that the neighbours and us could have a shared presence is because our houses are joined together.
Exactly.
So it very well at some point could have been one house.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Our blocks aren't big.
Yeah.
They're not really old houses. It's actually a pretty new property
Yeah.
on this on this block.
Yeah.
Wow, terrifying. I've also been terrified for the last few nights, and I keep hearing noises. And it doesn't help that Jacob and Ed are in a pretty, pretty hectic, scaring competition.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
have you heard about
Okay,
this?
this is the last thing, then we're gonna
Okay,
wrap.
sure.
Yeah, I'm. So,
All
what is
right,
this?
so it'll start one day.
Take your time, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably started a while ago. One day I was just sitting on my computer, and my room's at the front of the house facing the street. So I have my window open, headphones on, looking at my screen. So no real awareness of my surroundings. And Ed gets home and thinks it's a funny idea to reach through the window and give me a good old shock and stir me up. And I'm just listening to music. So obviously I get scared.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I react to that and I go, whoa.
Yeah.
Was it night?
Yeah, it was probably dark. It was probably 6, 7 p.m.
Scary.
So great. That was scary, and that started it off.
Yeah.
Anyway, probably about a month ago, it's 6 a.m. and I'm up early to do work, I think, and just in bed, kind of laying around on my phone. And I hear all of a sudden Ed get out of his bedroom and then go down to the bathroom. And I'm like, this is something in my mind is like, this is a great
Sorry, what
opportunity.
time was this?
6 a.m.
Okay.
So in the morning, still dark, but probably a bit too unreasonable to expect people to be up and
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, this is a great time to get him back.
Yeah.
So what I do is I leave my room and I see his bedroom light is on.
Yeah.
And for context, his bedroom is down the hallway from the bathroom.
Just next to yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob's door, Jacob's room, Ed's room, bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so his light is on and I'm wearing my hoodie, which is like this big cloak kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is perfect.
Don't try and play an hoodie off as something cool, dude.
Mate,
you
it was-
are wearing.
I'm wearing
an
my
hoodie.
really sick cloak, my Jedi cloak that I walk around the house.
yeah.
Has
That's
it got
called an hoodie.
cupcakes on it or
That's called-
something?
yeah.
Let's get
My
Udi
face.
sponsorships.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be in Udi's next podcast.
Yeah. And so I'm waiting. So what I do is I go into his room and I wait in the corner of his room and I turn the light off.
Yeah.
Right. And so he gets out of the bathroom and the first thing he would have noticed is that the light to his bedroom is off.
Oh,
but he
etch.
clearly left it on.
Etch.
And so I hear him start to walk in and stop, like he's noticed. And then he he says hello down the hallway, and I don't respond, obviously. So he starts creeping up towards the edge of the door, and he does that thing where you reach your hand around the door to kind of, and he's fumbling for the light switch to turn it on.
Yeah.
And so he goes around and he turns it on, and then he peeks his head in. And as he's peeking his head in, I just jump out at him with my hoodie at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, and his face was so priceless. Absolutely rattled.
Was he scared?
He was scared, and I had to just embrace him immediately because I felt so bad.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm
yeah,
so sorry.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
so funny.
Oh, that's legit.
Yeah,
Well, if he's
yeah.
gonna poke he had that coming, dude. You make your bed, you got to lie in it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
and
what I
now,
mean?
look, there's been a few other incidents, and I think now I'm just kind of giving it out. I think I need to rein it in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think we're trying to wave a white flag, perhaps, because I think there's a bit too much scaring going on.
Bit of a
at the moment.
truce.
I was terrified going to bed the other
I was
night.
gonna say I'm in the same bracket as you. If I was living in your house, I would be like, don't scare me.
Yeah, I made that.
I wig myself out
Yeah.
enough as it is.
This
Don't
happened with the
scare
old
me.
housemates.
Yeah.
I made a very stern call and I said, please don't scare me because it's not even a thing of, oh, it'll be kind of funny. I will start crying and then I won't sleep for a week.
Yeah, so will I.
Yeah.
So will I.
Even I'll tell you what, did you know the drip story?
No.
Oh, the drip drip
Yeah.
story.
Wow.
It's a short one. It's a short
So
one.
this
Just
one,
go.
it's a quick one. And this is the level of terrified that I get.
Okay.
Chelsea and Maycalf both live in the same house together. They live with Jodie, Chelsea's sister. And one night, Maycalf got a call just from a random number, not blocked number, random number. He picked up the phone and all he heard was the sound of a tap dripping. So it was just drip, drip, drip.
Yeah.
Hung it up, then just got a text later saying drip, drip, drip. The weird thing about it, their tap downstairs to their bathrooms, all their bedrooms are upstairs. Their tap downstairs for their bathroom drips.
Right.
So basically the shorthand is that someone was in their house,
Sure.
recording this drip.
Sure.
And, that's them being like, I'm in your house.
Yeah.
I'm inside. For the next week, I found it really tough to sleep at that. I was like, there was one point I was in bed and I had to go up and lock the door. And I was so scared to walk from the bed to the door.
The front door or the bedroom
No,
door?
just the bedroom door.
Okay.
I was terrified. And then you hear the other thing is the house makes lots of noise and you can hear their neighbors really well.
Okay.
And their neighbors are up at all hours of the night.
I was going to say that's kind of reassuring in a way because you can blame anything on the neighbours then.
You
go,
can.
oh, it's probably just the neighbours.
Yeah, until drip drip.
Yeah.
And then I was
That's edge.
terrified. Yeah.
And you guys thought it was Kane. I actually do remember this story.
We thought it was someone.
Yeah.
Because
You were like,
our
it was you,
group-
wasn't it? It was you. And Kane
Yeah.
was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
our group does
This stuff.
this stuff. I wouldn't put it past anyone in our group to have done that.
Yeah.
And no one's fessed up to it yet. And if someone does fess up to it, I would really appreciate it because I'm still scared.
Yeah, dude. That's scary. Scary.
Yeah.
Anyway, good times. We are yet to have a scary incident at this house, and I dread the day we do because our bathroom's outside. So I'm coming down. I've pretty much started since the ghost story. I never have this door open.
Yeah.
Because even in the day, I'm just like, not in the day so much, but at night, I hate looking down that corridor.
Yeah.
So
Corridors.
this feels way more safe when that door's closed.
Your house is good because there's not many places you can hide.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
no, there's none. There's literally.
I can think of one, and I'm not going to say it because I think it's going to scare you too much if you come down the stairs. Do you know what I mean?
under the stairs, maybe.
Yeah, that's
but
the only place
that
that
would've-
if you're
'cause-
coming down the stairs, you couldn't see them.
But you can get an angle literally as soon as you're there. You can see under.
Yeah,
and
but
look,
it's
no
too
one,
late. It's too
look,
late by that
I'm not
time.
scared of someone hiding there. I'm scared of like an actual ghost.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
I'm scared of just something standing in the corner and just watching.
But
me.
is it a
Oh,
ghost
right.
or is it like an intruder?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm more scared of ghosts.
Yeah,
than
me
I am
too.
of-
I'm not
yeah.
scared.
ghosts?
intruder.
Yeah, not intruders.
Yeah.
I like having it, and I also don't like nights when I'm the only one here. It just feels nice knowing that the boys are asleep in their bedrooms,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially EJ because he's like a soldier.
I was going to
down
say
there.
it's EJ.
Yeah.
It's EJ. If someone came in, EJ would not. Yeah, he'd just be straight in.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'd go and wake Kane up and make him go down second.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cool.
dude, this was a great app. I had a great time.
Yeah.
I had a good time as well.
Thanks for coming on, you guys. This
I
kind
know.
of we sort of just tangented a lot and it got away from us.
It was.
a little
It
bit,
was.
but
Yeah, very tangenty.
I liked the ghost turn that it took.
Yeah,
at the
scary
end.
story.
Yeah,
school
dude.
Well,
holidays.
it's good because we got to a point where we had built up enough scary stuff that
Yeah.
over the past 2 years
Yeah.
that now we've condensed them all together. And
Yeah.
if we have anything else to add, they will be added
Yeah.
as they happen now,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
good. Big question. What are we doing for the rest of our afternoon as school holidays / day boys?
Probably just hanging out.
Any
Literally
plans?
Literally
Anything but working?
We can do whatever we
Yeah.
want.
We
For
can do
sure.
whatever.
I now have a podcast to edit, but other than that, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
very
free.
good,
No,
very
it kind of sounds like you're on the clock.
We could do something tonight because training just got called off. Have you seen the Spider-Man movie yet?
No.
Should we go see that tonight?
I'm meant to be going out to dinner. I could go after.
Let's go see the
Why not?
Spider-Man movie.
Why not? Why
I
not?
really
Yeah.
want to see it.
Yeah,
We could go at like 8:30 or something.
I reckon that's possible. I'm going out
If
for
I was-
dinner with Mitchell and Kath.
If I was to gamble, you probably don't have anything on in the morning either.
No, actually, I've work
A
at
little bit of a morning.
11:30, so
That's
nothing
fine.
on in the morning.
We should do that. I would love to do that. Bring Mitchell and Kath.
That's a great point.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
message
float
the
that
group.
right now. I'm
gonna
going to get
message
off
the
this
group.
and just put a message out.
And it's Tuesday. It's Student Tuesdays, right? Oh, too good.
Yeah.
Too good.
Do you get a student discount somehow?
No, unfortunately.
What about do you tell them I'm literally on school holidays
Yeah,
right
I'm
now?
I'm the other version of a student. I'm the teacher in the
Do you get
school.
Do you get teacher discounts?
Concession discount, maybe.
You get
But
free tickets
that
to
I'm
the
aware of.
opera.
Yeah.
or whatever
yeah,
it was.
yeah, that was pretty good.
Anyway.
bonus recently.
Must be nice.
This maybe is this the spooky school holiday special?
Yeah.
Wow. That was a bit spooky. Yeah.
That was off the
Let's go. That was good. Spooky school holiday special.
Yeah.
Halloween in July.
What?
Halloween in July.
Yeah, dude.
Like Christmas in July.
Okay. Thanks for coming, you guys. Delo,
Thanks for having
Jacob.
us. This is awesome.
I'm stoked being here. As per.
Goodbye.
Dribble on.
Bye bye.